All right, today we're stepping onto the haunted grounds of a really remote boarding school, a place where old secrets, well, they refuse to stay buried. This is the haunting of Purnima School.
This whole story ends with this terrifying echo, the sound of someone desperately trying to escape a locked room. That one sentence, it just captures the entire tragedy of Purnima School. I want you to keep it in mind as we go all the way back to where this thing began.
So, our story kicks off with a new student, a boy named Golu. He's just been dropped off by his father at the gates of Purnima Residential School. And this place, it's less of a campus and more of a ruin. Seriously, it's just swallowed up by this dense, totally silent forest. You can feel it right away. Something is just wrong here.
Golu's welcome isn't exactly warm. In fact, almost as soon as he arrives, he learns the school's first and definitely most important rule.
The caretaker, Bola, is showing him around, and he points to this decaying, creepy wing of the school and gives him this really stern warning. Section C is off limits, no exceptions. And believe me, it's not a suggestion, it's a command. The entire mystery of this school is born right there, from that one simple rule.
So naturally, the first thing Golu wants to know is, why? I mean, what secret could be so terrible that you have to lock away an entire wing of the school?
And that's the question that just hangs over everything, isn't it? Why is an entire section of the school completely sealed off? Well, the answer really depends on who you ask.
And this is where the stories just split completely. The principal? He gives a perfectly logical, almost boring explanation. They're just waiting for more students before they open it up. But the students? Oh, they whisper a much, much darker story. Of ghosts, of kids who disappear, and of others who come back, well, not quite right in the head.
Now, these aren't just random campfire stories. They're all tied to this secret student society called the Shadow Squad. It was a group that got shut down after one of its own members was found dead. You guessed it, right inside the forbidden walls of Section C.
So even though the group was officially shut down, its legacy, it lives on. And Golu, just by a twist of fate, is about to stumble right into its newly resurrected form.
So it all starts when Golu gets stuck rooming with the school's biggest bullies. He sees them sneaking out at night and decides to follow them, straight into Section C. And there, he finds their secret. They've reformed the Shadow Squad. But their goal isn't really that sinister. They just meet up to tell ghost stories. Of course, Golu gets caught spying, and they force him to join to keep their secret safe, pulling him deeper and deeper into the school's darkness.
And this is where everything changes. The ghost stories stop being just stories. The line between what's a rumor and what's real just completely dissolves, and the whole school descends into total chaos.
It all kicks off with a terrified scream. Another student is hysterical, claiming he saw a ghost in the bathroom. The teachers try to brush it off as a prank, but it's the first chilling sign that whatever is haunting this school is no longer staying in the shadows of Section C.
With everyone starting to panic, the principal finally confesses, well, part of the story. He tells the staff that years ago, a student named Kittu was locked in a Section C classroom as a punishment and accidentally died. He says that after years of silence, the haunting has started up again. But as we're about to find out, this confession is just another layer of his lies.
And then everything just spirals out of control. Golu is lured into Section C by the ghost of a little boy and literally faints from terror. When he comes to, the school is in total lockdown. Massive heavy chains have appeared out of nowhere, sealing every single gate. The phone lines are dead. They are completely, totally trapped.
So now they're trapped inside with a restless spirit, and all the students and teachers huddled together for safety. And it's right here in this room, just filled with fear, that the principal's carefully built world finally shatters into a million pieces.
All of a sudden, Golu, who's been in this daze since he fainted, starts to speak. But the voice is not his. It's the spirit of a boy named Godri. And he has returned for one single reason, revenge. And his target, the principal. And here it is, the horrifying truth. The story about Kittu, a complete lie. 20 years ago, a student was pushed into a well. To protect the real person who did it, the man who is now the principal framed an innocent boy named Goldri. He then locked Goldri in a room in Section C and just left him there to starve to death. And when another teacher figured out the truth, he murdered him too.
So, the principal wasn't just some administrator who made a terrible mistake. No,
He was a cold-blooded killer. He framed and murdered a child and then killed again to cover his tracks. All of it just for power.
And just like that, everything makes sense. The ghost isn't just some evil force, it's the spirit of Gaz Kadri, and he is back to expose the man who stole his life. The haunting isn't random terror, it's a desperate, decades-long cry for justice that has finally found its voice.
You know, Purnima School really teaches us that the most terrifying phantoms aren't always the dead. Sometimes they're the secrets that the living will kill to protect, secrets that are just rattling their chains, waiting for the day they can finally break free.